2024, we're starting off with an EICR. Never been around this property before, so what are we going to walk into? Let's find out. Well, for starters, we've got the old 17th edition dual RCD, basic, cheap as chips consumer unit with an odd 50 amp hang about that RCD. Don't work, look. Well, that's failed straight away. Look at that though, nice and neat and tidy scheduled in there. There's your bonding. One cable going down to bond the gas and the water, but it's continuous, so that's fine. All right, let's try this. Bathroom light's a bit crap, but that'll get away. That's fine for a bathroom. Smoke detectors, let's check these out. Yep, give them a test there, okay. Look, there's a little bit of water in there. What's that mean? They've had a leak or something, so it's got to have a little check, see what's gone on there. Right, yeah, let's check the smoke alarms whilst we're here. We'll write that down as well, do them a bit of a favour. And this is where we start looking at the ceiling roses. Look, someone's lost a screw, so they've stuck that in there, connector block, not a problem. Obviously, this is when Wagos weren't around. Right, so they've got a bit of a rusty screw on that one. Bathroom fitting, just bog standard. Looks like the house has been rewired I'd say less than 10 years ago. But why is that rusty? Have to look into that as well. Fan isolator, all works spot on and fine. And then in the bedroom, yep, the lights, look at them, they've got LED lamps in. Fancy. New boiler in there. Bit of an old, it's not a bit loose, that is, isn't it? Bit loose controller for the thermostat. But it looks nice, neat and tidy in there. We'll just check out the ceiling rose again. They've just wired it to carry on the lives across to all the lights upstairs. So it looks fine with sleeving on them as well. Let's have a look at this one. Yep, got the sleeving on there. Looks lovely. The only thing I found with these as well, they weren't tight. So whether the guy that did it had a weak wrist, I do not know. But then look inside the board. It looks nice and tidy. Not too bad, I suppose. Yes, and they've got them on the buzz bars. They just look terrible, didn't they, these breakers? When you try to torque them up, they feel like they're going to snap the breaker. But that RCD, yeah, twitched it on and off, and it started working again. And tested it, it bleeding worked as well. So I couldn't write that down. Is it me, or do you need to find something? Look at this, these screws. Don't know why the old boy that done this, he probably didn't have any of them 3.5 long screws and a tap to be able to put new screws in. So I'm going to have to sort that out. And let's see what else we can find. It's one of them things where you do a EICR and you determine to find something. Look at that, got all the bleeding sleeving on there, lovely as well. But this will not come off. Well, this wasn't the bloke's fault who rewired the house, I would have thought. This has happened sooner or later over time. But that's rounded off. Nothing you could do. Can't get it out. Am I meant to test into there? Ain't gonna happen, is it? So maybe we could do one of them ghost tests where you pretend to test it. Another thing, yes, like the old boy's done it because he was being a bit trying to save some money on his sleeving. Don't know why. It's easier for testing later on. Bit of earth sleeving, how much it cost? Tell you what, mate, you can have this bit. I've got a bit hanging on me, so we'll use that. So let's go back to this clicker switch then. We'll try and get this screw out now, won't we? So let's rip them screws out and hope they haven't ruined the thread so I can rethread it with this little threading tool I've got here, 3.5 tap. So this is what I'm going to do, just screw it in. I'll screw it in all the way. I want to get a nice thread because I want to get this tight because that will save, well, say putting them screws back in there look rubbish. So that's where I've just twisted the isolator onto its side so I can get the little threading tool in there, but it is going in nice and well, to be honest. So I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to get some nice long screws in there to be able to fix this back nice and neat like it is. It probably should have been done before. The old boy probably just didn't have any 3.5 taps or 3.5 screws, long ones. But there we go, look, do it up nice and neat. It looks the part now. Hasn't got them stupid bloody wood screws in there. So it just looks a bit better. I could have read it down on the test certificate, but look, it takes me 5 minutes. I like to do things nice and neat. Well, I was going to put it back anyway, add it off. Right, now to sort out this. You can't have that wonky in there, it's stupid. And if you're touching the back, if it gets a bit warm, it's going to melt the cables. So that's why we put a deeper back box in. Simple as that. Grab it out of the van, put the deeper back box in, and it just looks a bit neater as well. Like, you can't see the cables. I pulled the cables from the top and the bottom. Right, so I'm going to have to smash this off, and I can't get in there. It might be loose. Got a bit of a rubbish reading. I need to test, need to see it. It's not accessible. So yeah, smash it off. But it's a bit tough. And the funny thing is, after I started smashing it off, that bleeding screw come loose. I went out and bought myself a deeper back box so I could replace that as well, but yeah, it didn't matter. So yep, got myself a new isolator switch. Yeah, it's a BG one, that's all they had in the wholesalers, but it'll do. And to go above and beyond for this customer, I thought I'd put a new plug on for them. Yep, I'm a geek, I use ferrules in the plug. Don't know why, I just did it. I don't always use them, but it was a good idea, I thought, at the time. It makes it look nicer. And yes, it makes that fire work again, which was pretty lucky because I thought it was a gas one to start with. Right, now back to the board. All done and dusted. Let's go home. Oh, and before I forget, I went to the garage. Look at this, I found something else to write down the certificate. Yeah, a bit of a bigger hole in there. There was holes in the top of the board as well. Found something to show that I did the test. Always like to find something at least.